Oxford from the inside. The good, the bad, but always the truth.
Hey guys, welcome to Oxford from the Inside, the good, the bad, but always the truth. Today we're here with Megan. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hiya, I'm Megan. I'm third year chemist at Trinity College.
Nice. So today we're going to be talking about doing a quickfire question on top study tips. So Megan, take it away.
So, so I was saying this with Siam earlier, but I'm very bad at revision. I'm not good at revising. I hate it. I think it's the worst thing imaginable to do, quite frankly. But it's unfortunately very necessary. Um, so a lot of my study habits are based around making me do some work, even though it's the last thing I want to do. Um, so a lot of that is, so I'm not one of those people who makes like a huge spreadsheet of revision plans. I don't write beautiful color coded notes because that's actually more procrastination. I will spend 2 days making a revision timetable and then I won't even stick to it. So it's just not worth me doing. But I need some form of accountability, otherwise I don't do anything. So what I find is much more helpful is just kind of thinking generally, oh, this week I'm going to do physical chemistry, and next week I'm going to do inorganic chemistry, or I'm going to focus on this specific paper. And then day by day, just thinking, okay, I'd like to get these questions done today, and maybe writing it down like in a planner or something. Because then I'm not constantly missing the deadlines that I've set for myself. Um, be generous with your deadlines to yourself. Like, it's important that you do enough work, but I can tell myself, okay, I want to do a couple of questions today. And then I can look back and I can think, well, I did what I set out to do. And it makes you feel better about yourself, regardless of how much work you've done. It's about keeping yourself motivated. So that's a big thing. I do not bother with a huge revision timetable. I don't stick to it. It's not helpful. It's a waste of my time. I think just more generally. A second big thing is um, I'm really, really bad at writing notes. I'm not very good at condensing information. I'm one of those people who doesn't like dropping bits. So rather than like writing out the core points of the lecture course, I don't want to do that, and I end up writing out most of the lecture course again, which again takes a lot of time. And then I don't really use them anyway because they're not any shorter than the lecture notes. So they're not like that useful in terms of, oh, quick, what are the key points I need to know? Because they're like 5 pages long. Um, so if I do write notes, it's right at the start of my revision process to consolidate. But again, I'm not one of those people who can write out beautiful color coded post-it notes, key points, with a key. I can't do that. And it's a waste of my time and it's more procrastination. And I tend to give up halfway through anyway. Like, I'll get halfway through a lecture course and the quality of the notes will just, dive bomb, or I'll get halfway through physical chemistry and then give up because I'm bored. So that's something. Don't feel like you have to write notes. If they're not helpful for you, you don't have to write them. So I guess like the main way that I revise, because I can't write notes or do anything like that, the main way that I revise is by doing questions. And I do questions before I've revised the lecture notes. Because again, it's about keeping myself motivated. And it sounds like really demotivating if I do questions when I know nothing about the topic. But you'd really be surprised by how much is like in the back of your head. And you might be able to, without any revision, scrape together, 5 marks for the question, which is better than nothing. And then I find it incredibly useful to do a question, and then I can say, well, these are the things I couldn't answer. So let me look those up in the notes and write out an answer to them. Because otherwise, I feel like I'm just pointlessly reading notes. But if there's a specific goal in mind of I need to understand this part of the topic, I need to go over this definition, I need to read up on this specific compound, it's like very narrow, specific goals that I can accomplish quite quickly. So I feel like I'm getting through the topic. And if you do enough questions, you will generally cover most things you need for the exam, because those are the questions to be examined on. I read you tutorial sheets. If I don't want to use up all my exam questions, I'll do a tutorial sheet again. I might even do it again. If there are some bits I didn't get the first time, I might check if I now understand it. And examiners like to throw in random things, right? So there might be 3 marks that you haven't actually gone over, but that's not really a big deal in the grand scheme of things. If I can get 80% of the marks, like in nice conditions, then I'm in a good state of mind for doing it under exam conditions, under time pressure. So like, it's doing questions really helps focus my mind and motivate me to say these are the specific things I need to know. And then at the end of the day, rather than having like nothing to look back on or really bad notes to look back on, like bits of paper everywhere, I can look back and I can tick off, I've done this question, I've done this question, I've done this question, I understand this question. And then I can make notes. I can say, I don't understand this question. So I can email my tutor and ask them to explain it, which is way more helpful than just reading the notes and making notes. So I guess that's kind of the main ways that I revise. A bit more generally is you have to be very kind to yourself. I'm not sure if there's anyone who does like revision. Correct me if I'm wrong, Siam, but revision isn't fun. No one likes no one likes revision. So you just have to be very kind to yourself. It's horrible, it's boring, it's difficult, it can be very demotivating looking at like all of the course you have to go through, all the questions you haven't answered. So if you can't really do any work today, that's fine. You have 2 months still. It's not the end of the world if you just can't do any work today. And obviously try and make it easier for you, put your phone away, give yourself an environment that is easy to work in and is harder for you to get distracted. But if you really can't focus, that's okay. Go for a walk, do something else, do some housework, do some cooking, go for a run. If you can't work, that's okay. But beating yourself up about it is going to make it so much worse in the long run than just saying, today's not my day, it'll be better tomorrow. Yeah, be kind to yourself, because no one loves it. You might as well, not put more pressure on yourself than there already is. So yeah.
Nice, thank you. That's amazing. I imagine you can empathise with the idea that I think everyone gets to a point where they're studying quite a lot and they've got a decent routine coming along, and then you suddenly realise that to maintain this, it's actually equally important to maintain other things in your life, because or you'll burn out, like you said, like with runs and doing other things that you value and taking breaks and being kind to yourself, or you just work into the ground quite quickly.
Yeah, and like even if you don't think, even if you go, okay, I've only done 5 hours of work today. 5 hours of work is pretty good in my opinion, but if you've only done 5 hours of work today, there's a quote that I don't remember who it's from, sorry, but a job worth doing is worth half doing. Like, it's okay if you can only half do it. It's better than doing nothing. So even if all you've done today is planned what you're going to do tomorrow, it's better than nothing. So burning yourself out is not worth it.
Oh yeah, I also agree that I think there's loads of benefits of going straight to exam questions. I guess you get them, personally you get that motivated that, oh god, I just don't know any of it.
Yeah.
you really need to work. And
Yeah.
I guess also you get like tailored revision if you do
Mm,
exam questions, because you don't just write notes of everything, but you find out the specific things that you can
mm,
answer, and then and I guess it's really useful for GCSE or A level students to listen to this because they will have mark schemes to
mm.
compare. So the more past papers you do, the more things you can see that you didn't get right, and then you can compare that with the mark scheme, and
Yeah.
then see how the right answer was. If you don't understand it, ask someone.
Mm.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Nice.
Oh, I miss mark schemes. But yeah, like if you're doing GCSEs and A levels, my tactic was do the past paper questions. If there's a topic you're particularly bad at, don't look at the notes, just do a question, and then you actually know what you don't know. Because there's
Yeah.
probably, there's something in the back of your head probably. So if you know how to do it, don't waste your time on revising it. So if you do
Mm.
a question, you can say, okay, well, I actually understood that better than I thought. Or you go, wow, this is much worse than I thought. But then you know where to focus your time. So yeah,
Yeah.
do questions.
Yeah. I guess it's like especially for problem solving, the real action and the learning happens when you're
Mm,
doing problem solving for sure.
yeah. And a lot of the ways they make questions harder isn't by putting in isn't by like giving you content that you haven't seen before. It's about giving you a problem that you haven't seen before, and it's about applying your knowledge. So I can read up about solid state compounds all I like, but
Mm.
if they give me something I haven't seen before
Yeah.
and say, predict this, the best way of practicing that is by doing questions where you have to predict things,
Mm.
and then you
Yeah.
can Google it later. But
No, yeah, this is I fully agree with this. Yeah, and yeah, this is nice. Um, was there anything else?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure you have all been told a million times, as you should be, to take breaks, to learn like what working pattern works best for you. Because I know that I'm more productive in the evenings, but
Yeah.
I also don't function without sleep. So that's a bit of a difficulty for me. But you have to learn what's important to you, and sleep is more important for me than that extra hour of productivity. So I take the sleep. Um, and so I start work a bit earlier than I'm productive in order to get better sleep. So take breaks, look after yourself, and learn what working pattern works best. Some people work best, 10 minutes on, 5 minutes off. Some people work best going half an hour fully concentrating, 10 minutes off. There are lots of different work patterns that might suit you differently. So work out what works for you.
Nice. Perfect. Well, that's all that we've got time for today. Thank you so much, Megan, for such an interesting view on revising and top study tips. And thank you for the viewers for listening, whether it's on your podcasting platform or on YouTube. We hope you stay safe, and we'll see you guys next time.